Many hunters will admit without hesitation that their favorite animal to hunt is elk. And that's hard to argue. The undoubted challenge, incredible vocalization, and impressive body and antler size make them a popular foe each fall. Each individual habitat offers its unique challenges and claims for why they are the most difficult to hunt in. Once you add in archery gear, it's just plain and simple. Elk hunting can be really hard.
It was like 80 yards, he come out of that bottom, and he just kept walking west.
For us personally, the close calls are what keep us going, but also drive us absolutely mad. They possess our off-season dreams almost as if taunting us, but also motivating us at the same time. We've had so many almosts and what ifs, and as defeating as they are in that moment, they truly are what keep us going forward towards our end goal. Going into the fall of 21, it had been 7 years since any of us had notched a tag on an elk, and that's definitely not for lack of trying or close encounters. The fire was lit beneath us, and we really wanted to break that streak.
And literally that close to shooting him. He was big. Wow, that was wild. That was like the third time we heard him bugle, and he was right there.
I went up for the first night by myself. I set up camp in a good friend's farmyard, and then went for a scouting cruise that turned up more bears than anything. Camp turned out to be in a great spot, literally quite so, as we were able to call a calf right into camp one day while practicing our calls. That was definitely an experience that I'll never forget, and it wouldn't have felt right shooting A calf elk, or B, a calf right in camp like that, but it still got our hearts going, and it was pretty awesome. We were able to get quite a few elk encounters, but at the start it was all cows and calves. I could have shot several elk, but decided that I really wanted to hold out for something with antlers, especially because it was early in the season. Each encounter, it was getting harder to not let an arrow fly, and I was starting to lean towards the next elk I saw was gonna get it mentality. Luckily, I held out. This particular morning met us with a lot of optimism, as we were able to hear bugles shortly after getting into the bush that morning, and we were able to make a plan to move in towards the bull.
Slightly quarter two, but I think it's a good shot. Okay, let's give him a little hot touch. I somehow got the manual focus on your finger, and I seen you draw back, and then I heard you go mute, and I watched your finger. You could see it in the film. I watched your finger roll over on the press. I'm like, he's got to be real close. So I was like, yes. All right, well, it's Friday morning. Been up here since
Saturday night I came up. Sunday morning, Dusty and Troy came. We had Troy with us for 2 days. And action-packed first 2 days. Passed a lot of good amount of cows. A couple calves at like point blank. Tuesday, Wednesday, pretty slow days. It was Tuesday, Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
No sightings, like 1 or 2 far-off bugles. It was pretty windy. Yesterday we had a pretty good day, just me and Dusty now. We came into a bedding area we found and got point blank on a bull, raked a tree, which is, look at this bush behind me, there was no shooting lane. I had 2 lanes on either side of him, didn't get a shot. Pretty cool encounter, but just so defeating to put in so much time and get them that close and not be able to shoot. Yesterday we broke the 50-mile mark. We're averaging a little over 10 miles a day. So this morning we came back into the bedding area, and other days we've come in a day after having a good morning and heard nothing. But it was a lot warmer last night, but we came in, we heard bulls bugling, worked our way in, and on the first set, it didn't seem like it was going to work at first, and I had one really good lane. And unlike yesterday, bull walked right into it. 25-yard shot, slightly quartering, but arrow right behind the shoulder blade. Pretty positive, fingers crossed, touch wood. And it's going to be a dead elk, so we are just going to take our time because it is 7:30 in the morning. We got nowhere to be but here, so take our time. Brought some food, some water. Just going to sit here and be quiet and not push anything. Maybe go look at the spot of the shot in a couple minutes just to see, but fingers crossed that this has a happy ending. I was quite confident with the shot. It was only 25 yards, and although he was slightly quartered to me, it wasn't enough to make me worry. I watched where my arrow hit and was confident that I got at least 1, if not 2 lungs. But the initial blood was not great. In fact, there was none. We were luckily able to stumble onto some, and it looked a little bit better. In fact, I was able to even to see that bull at one point. He kept bedding down, and each time we bumped him, I felt our chances of ever finding him were getting slimmer and slimmer. Bubbles. Sorry. There he is. He's right there. I just saw his antlers. There was a magpie on him already. I just seen him. The start of the track job was not looking good. No blood, and honestly, like, just happened so quick in emotions. I thought he turned and went back towards the east, but it turns out that he turned that way and then turned more south right away. So me and Dusty walked around pretty much wandering aimlessly, and no luck, so I started marking south more, bumped into elk, and I walked up to where I bumped him up, blood, and pretty good blood. So we sat there for half an hour, just like a big weight lifted off our shoulders just because we finally found blood. And we decided, okay, we're going to press forward a little bit, another 40 yards or so. We did. I saw him lift his head up and then put his head back down. 40 yards in front of us, and he didn't run away. There's lots of blood, so he's mortally wounded, I would say. So we're just going to wait another half hour and sneak up and see if I got to put another arrow into him, but it looks like we're going to get our hands on this elk, which is just
he did get up and then...
But I need boots, I can't.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
The fact that we were able to keep bumping into him was just proving to me that he was wounded badly. So we decided to take a break, back out, and then come in later in the day. At this point, it had been almost 12 hours since the time of the shot. The elk had traveled a long distance, and I was really starting to doubt the fact that we were going to actually get our hands on this elk. But persistence is always key, and you owe it to the animal to put the time in and do everything you can to recover them. And thankfully, we did just that.
What an animal. I cannot believe
Like, look at this.
bull elk down.
We spent all day, aside from a 4-hour break, we bumped him and he was just going 50, 30, 60 yards. So we said, okay, we need to just get out of here. So we went, had some food, had a nap. I actually slept really good. I was exhausted. It's just been a mentally draining day. Came back in, found some blood. And then Dusty was literally tracking hoof prints in the moss. There was no more blood. And that's 100% legit. And then I cut in front of him, because we didn't want what happened last time, him bump him up and not me be there to try and get a shot. Just so happened to walk up to him 10 yards laying in a spruce thicket. So I put one in his neck, and he actually got up and ran another, I don't know, 50 yards. We heard him fall down, and I walked up and I put one more in him just to finish him off. I mean, it's unfortunate. I really would like to recover this elk, within an hour shooting him this morning, but we'll see when we flip him over. I don't think I made a bad shot, because he was obviously quite badly hurt to be the way he acted all day, and for us to get on him 11 hours after the initial shot. So this is like, it's a thunderstorm right now. We're in the middle of the bush. Like, this day has just been, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe it. I thought we were going to be wandering around this evening and maybe find some birds tomorrow, or we weren't going to get on them, but persistence, all I can say. And none of this would have been possible without Dusty. This is as much his elk as it is mine. I almost killed one yesterday morning, actually even closer than this guy, but there was just no shooting lane, and then this guy came perfect into the lane this morning, which happens very rarely, but it did, and I hit him good enough that we were able to get him. So beautiful creature. I just have the utmost respect for these guys. Definitely a little upset that we weren't able to make it a little quicker, but we stuck with it and we got the animal, and now we have a pile of work ahead of us. It's like 6:30. I'm just expecting this thunderstorm to just torrentially downpour on us now, because why not? Yeah, we gotta pack this guy out.
Let's get to it.
That's right. As we field dressed my bull, we were able to see exactly where my arrow hit. With a 1/4-2 shot, I hit one lung and liver. I did not anticipate him going that far with that kind of shot, but it just goes to show how strong they are and their will to live and survive. Hopefully some others can learn from this, as I did, as obviously the best shot is completely broadside, where you get the best chance at hitting both lungs, because if you hit one lung with an arrow, you could be preparing yourself for a long track job. But all I can say is stick with it. And hopefully you're lucky like me and have some good friends that are always there willing to track and pack and make memories for a lifetime.